Multi-exclusive dimensional being Kai with another exclusive Grand Rising Kings, Queens, Gods, Goddesses. We about to get into this video. What is chlamydia? Because I want and I really want people to understand and understand the whole concepts of what they basically be getting themselves into as far as these viruses, these diseases, and these other concepts, basically. Because it's one thing that they gave it a name, it's another that is being created. And I want people to understand and understand. The answers, the information is right in front of your face. So never be naive to what's basically being played out. Everybody got their own way and own concepts of receiving or basically understanding, understanding, or basically understanding, standing under information. But everybody got their own weight, and when we can basically come together and basically reunite and put it and break things down to the way we how we should formulate it, it won't be an opposing, it won't be a debate, because everybody got their own element, everybody got their own way of doing things, everybody got their own contrast, everybody got their own state, their own mentality. Now let's get back into chlamydia, because I'm basically going from side to side, loop loop. But listen, understand and understand, chlamydia, which they created, is basically a disease dealing with the genitals, dealing with the dick, the pussy, the ass, whatever you want to basically bring up these concepts about. Now, everybody react and respond to diseases differently. Feel me? And the reason and the causes of these diseases is basically doing things and not doing things in moderation. Because there's a time to indulge and there's a time to not indulge. Because basically, if you know the days of the so-called, not I don't like to say the word weak, as in days of the week, because they saying you weak, you soft, you lazy, and basically after this 6 day, 7 day period, you're gonna be weak because basically you're trapped into the matrix. You're trapped into these elements, or basically it'll play out into these spectrums. I don't want people to get lost into these concepts because, of course, what is Monday? Moon Day. Basically, that's dealing with the feelings and that's dealing with the emotions. That's dealing with your inner world. So that's basically receptions, and basically that's what you need to be basically focusing on is how you basically want to infiltrate your day and basically having home and security, basically being somewhere more secure than shit. You know what I mean? Not being too open, not having to overly work because this can basically harm your health. Tuesday is the day you utilize your passions, your aggression, your desires, a day to indulge and fuck the shit out of your girl, basically do whatever you want to do. Of course, there's safety precautions and shit. Depending on how you get lost into your desires and shit, you have to be very aware of that because this can basically bring harm to your health. Also, Wednesday is basically the day of thinking and communication. That's the day to interact with people, places, and things. And of course, and you can like come close to close contact with people, basically interact with people, resonate with people and shit in mutable ways and adapt to those ways. And Thursday is basically the day of Jupiter, expansion and growth. That's the day you will know everything, learn everything and shit. So basically, you need to be aware of everything. You need to be basically looking on the in and out. So this way you know you have a wide perspective of things and know what's going on. Friday is the day of love, Venus, appreciation, love, relatability, balance, trying out new sex positions, and basically, basically indulging with your girl and shit type shit. Feel me? That's the day you basically supposed to resonate. And Saturday is limitations and restrictions. That's the day you don't indulge. And basically, when you overindulge and basically do that shit, that's the day you can catch STDs, HIV, AIDS, chlamydia, and shit. Because it's basically a ritual, it's a spectrum and shit. And if you're not acting out in the days of these natures, things can be very harmful instead of very harmonious. Now, when we get back to chlamydia off the back, this is not something that you basically catch outside of you as far as what you breathe. Basically, understand and understand. The moment vaccines and all these viruses and pills and shit, popping pills of that shit, once that came into play, that's when these viruses and disease started basically expanding and spreading out. I want people to understand and understand that shit. That's when things started taking shape and form. It's to the moment you allow something outside of you, which is another spirit in the body that's basically indoctrinated on the left brain logical spectrum, and basically thinking that of course, they had a license in being a doctor, license in medicine, license in lab, but still can't cure a fucking common cold or common disease that basically they created as far as the people that's above them that control them and basically give them the information to basically give authorizations to basically give them certain pills and certain spectrums and certain symptoms and shit. Because at the end of the day, the whole reason of why these viruses was created to basically to depopulate you. Everybody started fucking and basically doing all this shit, and basically the population started growing. Everybody just having kids and shit, growing. So of course, the people that supposedly think that they run this world, basically they are in a category of that spectrum. But we all got power. Without us, there won't be no spectrum of that. So basically, it's just how you formulate, how you control your world. So basically, with these people, they see so many kids. So of course, they created a problem by basically creating chlamydia. And when they created chlamydia, put it in the vaccines, they basically put it out there to basically depopulate and kill you and get rid of you and slow down the whole purpose of having kids and shit. Of course, you gotta wear a condom. Of course, you gotta do this and shit. But I want to understand and understand, allow people to know that this is basically how it play out. Of course, these are the spectrums that you deal with. But at the end of the day, there's a cure for every disease. Just like how there's a death and a rebirth for every person, place, or thing, or any spectrum. Feel me? Energy can never be destroyed. It can only be retransferred. So just because this person got this virus or this chlamydia, whatever you want to say it, doesn't mean it's not going to transform from them. They're going to die. They're going to basically resonate. They're going to leave this body. Because remember, understand and understand, you're not the body. You wasn't it previously, and you're not going to be it when you leave it, and you're not it when you go to sleep. Because when you go in your genesis, when you dream and imagine, you're in a whole nother world. You're in a whole nother spectrum. So basically, understand and understand that when you come back in, that you're not this body. So that pain, those feelings and emotions, because I'm about to tell you how to basically kill a virus with your mind, which is very fucking powerful. And the moment you allow a fucking doctor to take over your mind and tell you got to do this and basically do that. Now, I ain't saying nothing wrong with doctors. Not all doctors, but you got some doctors that know shit. You got some doctors that basically don't know shit. They basically too left brain. Some probably possessed. Some probably in that too logical demonic nature, as in the left hemisphere. And of course, I want you to know, ain't nothing wrong with a checkup too. Of course, we all supposed to get checkups. Nah, I'm saying, but at the end of the day, you should know thyself. You should know if something's right with you. You should know if something's wrong with you. You don't need a fucking doctor. You are your doctor. You are your boss. You are in control of your body. You are putting down the zippers and basically going inside that lady. You are the woman that's spreading your legs and allowing the man to go inside you. So basically, if you don't know what's wrong with you, something outside of you, someone outside of you is going to tell you what's wrong with you. And then, they not always 100%, 10 times out of 10. So the moment you allow them to tell you got something, now you got to get all these checkups, all these viruses, all these pills and shit. It's going to cause more problems. Of course, chlamydia is a disease and it spreads. It can fuck with your eye, fuck with your vision and shit. Because basically it's a bacteria, it's a parasite. It's in your body, it's traveling, it's trying to basically create life. And basically when you allow that to happen, that's what happens. But listen, the whole purpose of curing this virus, you can do this in many ways, shapes, and forms. You don't need a doctor. You don't need no assistance. This is basically the power within you. Feel me? Because if you didn't have you didn't have the power to cure something, you wouldn't be able to be in this body. Because your spirit knew what it was doing in your mother's pussy, aka mother's stomach, for 9 months when it created this body and it grew. Feel me? So listen, what goes in gotta come out. As above, as below, as within, as without. So whatever goes up gotta come back down. Gotta spiral right back down. Whatever goes in gotta spiral right back the fuck out. So the moment you allow somebody to lie to you and shit is the moment that basically you fuck up. Because the thing is, they give you prescriptions, they give you pills and all that other shit. That's because they gotta keep keeping you on the drug so your body won't heal in the proper way. And the moment your immune system is compromised and damaged due to all that treatment that they was giving you on a repeated process, that's the moment your body can't really heal itself properly. And the moment you keep allowing that, the moment your body weakens and you just die with chlamydia. And now you died in a horrific and a most harmful way. And that's basically all you remember. So when you do leave this body, you're going to come back here in pain. Your mother might have the next person, place, and thing you actually going to enter. Your mother might have chlamydia. And that's another thing too. Mothers, they basically be out here wilding too. Or they just might get a vaccine and they might just get a certain virus. And basically, that's why all these viruses, that's why I'm telling y'all, They give these viruses, they create these viruses, they give it a name, and they basically push it out, and they try to say, oh, this happened because of this person or this person. You know what I'm saying? Which in reality, ain't nobody just created a virus outside of their body. Feel me? These viruses was created and things is added on as far as certain supplements, certain tissues, certain bacteria, certain chemicals, and when you mix that shit up and you put all kind of witchcraft and all that shit in there, and you have a purpose of what you want to utilize it for, that's what happens. AKA Pluto, underworld. That's where all the death. That's where all the viruses and shit come from, the underworld, underground. For me, the death. I mean, that's like basically somebody died, you drain on their blood. Now you mix it with somebody else's blood. Basically, antibodies. Basically, y'all know what the fuck I'm talking about. Basically, now when you mix somebody else's blood with somebody in your blood, knowing you clean, you healthy and shit, and you putting somebody else's bacteria inside your blood, that's how you become. That's like a zombie. It's like an ongoing influence. But listen, I'm about to tell you how to kill and destroy chlamydia. First thing first, don't agree to the terms and conditions of having chlamydia. Have on your mind you don't have that shit. Because the moment you basically put your mind into that spectrum of not having something, which is deadly and harmful, that's the moment you clearing out all that shit, all those fucking all those programs and shit that's in your mind. You're clearing that shit out. Now when you basically get that out the way, now basically you coming up with new concepts of basically feeling good, you expressing yourself. Now, boom, we in second trait, which is dealing with feelings and emotions. Now, of course, your feelings and emotions is gonna be very kind of stagnated and shit. Of course, you're gonna be getting attacked by that parasite, aka that chlamydia. Now, you need to reverse these feelings and emotions. Remember, your thoughts ain't yours, and your feelings and emotions ain't yours. You're just basically in the shape and form of somebody, which can be your ancestor or somebody previously that had chlamydia. Basically, now you're basically being attacked by those spirits that was trapped here, that basically didn't get too above. They were just lost into their desire. So basically, attached to you. It's like a parasite. Remember, energy can never be destroyed, it can only be reciprocated. And if they basically spiraling in your life, this is basically what you're picking up, and you're picking up more weight. Now basically when you die in this body and you incur this shit, that's another spirit, and that's another ghost right there that's basically here to basically come and create another reality, another nightmare for somebody else. So basically when you resist this shit, it'll basically kill it off. Now you're killing all feelings and emotions and shit, and you get rid of that. Now basically when we talk the energy, which we talking about the body and shit, whatever you eat, whatever you drink, you need to program that shit and have on your mind what you want to utilize it for, as far as what you want to do, to how you want to feel, how you want to think. And basically when you putting yourself in a good space and location with feelings and emotion and expression, that shit is gonna basically die out. That's how you kill it. That's how you kill it. That's how you kill any virus without any treatment and shit. Now when you want to talk treatment, we got certain herbs and shit which you can utilize, which is could be Irish sea moss, yellow dock and shit like that. Feel me? These are just certain herbs that you can basically use, or you could just basically do some affirmations and shit, write down on paper, go outside, do a 360, basically get elements and basically get instructions from the stars and the moon, and of course importantly basically you can basically do some rituals and spells and shit that you can basically do naturally, because at the end of the day the people that created the virus and shit that's being ran by other motherfucking puppets and demons and shit like that, they channel the stars. That's how they come up with all concepts to basically bring things down to existence and basically utilize it for whatever they want to utilize it for, as far as structure, daily routine, status, and reputation. Now, if you in a circumstance situation of basically trying to heal yourself, you need to get aligned with your stars and know thyself. Now, another thing is health astrology. So if you do got problems down there, which is your 8th house, find out what planet is in that house, act out in those natures, put down some words and sigils, and basically play out these spectrums and these energies, and have on your mind that you want to program it for this use and this cause, and boom, you will basically get rid of chlamydia just like that. So the moment you allow somebody outside of you to tell you that you got to take antibiotics, you got to be on this drug, this pill, is the moment you put a firmament on your spirit, your soul, and your body. And that's all you knew was a doctor. You didn't know how to carry yourself on your own. So of course, if you don't know how to do shit on your own, you're gonna always be under somebody. You're gonna always stand under somebody. The moment you learn how to do shit on your own and not rely on somebody, the moment you break out of that general curse, of course, generational curses, you basically be your own shit. And of course, the motherfuckers that was controlling you is down here now. Then now they gotta look up to you. Feel me? Now you control that shit. You ain't being told what to do. You taking over your power. You taking over your body back. If you need extra assistance, you just hit me right up. I'm gonna basically put you onto what you need to do on how to properly cure chlamydia and basically all these viruses that they quote unquote say you can't cure. Because whatever you listen to is what you believe. What you believe is what you receive. So just know that.